Dude, these people asked some pretty great questions. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, maybe that'd be cool.
Hargrave.
One that you love and one that you barely tolerate.
Yes.
Oh God.
Well, all right. One that I love about is his collaborative nature. Barely tolerate his good looks. Makes me look bad. God.
I want to know how many days did you take to shoot it, and how many injuries did you guys have during?
Nothing. Well, shooting in Prague, and it was winter and freezing, and so tendency to lock up and have joints and ligaments sort of wreak havoc was a little more.
On his days off or time off, before or after work, to work on the fight choreography, like he puts everything into the work.
Does a possible health scare really deter your spirit at any given point?
You know, particularly on the top of the train.
Yeah.
It's moving at 50 miles an hour. There's a helicopter in front of the train flying backwards, and I'm 20 feet away from it. You know, there's the brain. You know, obviously, he says to you, "Hey, this is crazy. What are you doing? Get down from there."
Yeah.
With the things you look back on and remember in a positive light is time you spend with the people you love. Yeah. As you say, being away too much and not being with family enough, and missing the things that are most important. You know,
A lot of Bollywood actors really love you, and I have a lot of friends. One of
love
them is
them.
Arjun Kapoor, and he's told me to personally ask you this: what's the best way to kidnap both of you? So I have to tell you that, oh my God, what a movie, what a oner. It's a 21-minute oner.
Yes.
I want to know how many days did you take to shoot it, and how many injuries did you guys have during the film?
It took us 29 days to shoot the oner. It was a insanely challenging and rewarding undertaking. We had months of rehearsal, but 21 shooting days to pull it off.
What about you? How many injuries did you get?
Nothing. Well, no, I came in with a few injuries, to be honest, and then we had to manage them through the process. And it's just the usual sort of bumps and scrapes, like playing a game of football every weekend, but every day, actually.
for 10 hours a day.
For 4 months. Yeah. And it was unlike, when we shot the first film, we're in warmer climates. We're in shooting in Prague, and it was winter and freezing, and so tendency to lock up and have joints and ligaments sort of wreak havoc was a little more prominent in this time.
There's a lot of management,
Absolutely. And it shows. I loved the movie. It's so well done. But there's something that I really want to ask you is that when you are friends and you know each other for so long, you also know each other's secrets a lot. What is that one quality of each other that you love and you barely tolerate?
One that you love and one that you barely tolerate?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Well, all right. One that I love about is his collaborative nature. Like, and not just friends, but on a workspace, we've spent weekends working on the script. We'd work with other actors off time. He would come in on his days off or time off, before or after work, to work on the fight choreography. Like, he puts everything into the work, which I love.
That's true. What do you barely tolerate about him?
Barely tolerate his good looks. Makes me look bad. God.
I would say Sam's passion, commitment, enthusiasm, unwavering amount of energy. He doesn't seem to ever tire or fatigue. It's he shows up first on set, last to leave, and everyone else just tries to keep up. And that in itself is also intolerable.
When you're filming action sequences, it's not just physically exhausting, it can be mentally exhausting too over so many days. Does a possible health scare really deter your spirit at any given point?
Yeah, there's certain points when you particularly on the top of the train, it's moving at 50 miles an hour. There's a helicopter in front of the train flying backwards, and I'm 20 feet away from it. There's the brain. Obviously, he says to you, "Hey, this is crazy. What are you doing? Get down from there."
Yeah.
But then you just have to trust that you have Sam leading the charge. You know that he's prepped and covered all bases as far as things that could go wrong, safety measures, etc. But there's always the lizard brain, the survival instinct that says, "What are we doing in this situation? This is silly." Yeah. And then you ignore that.
And then he does it to put the audience in that position so that you can experience that feeling.
But I have to ask you this, that, when you're doing a film like this, grief is laced with a lot of guilt. especially with this character.
Yeah.
How do you has there ever been a position in life where you felt guilty about something?
I think everybody has, and that's one of the amazing
Yeah.
things about this character, and I think why people identify with that. Because, hey, we've all made mistakes and
Yeah.
have made choices that we feel bad about, and then try to want to make up for. And I think that I do think that's one of the reasons
Yeah.
why this character is so relatable to people. Is because it's human.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just trying to be the best that he can, but it doesn't always work out. But yeah, I think that's a great question. But I think that really is what drives Tyler, but also makes him very relatable.
What about you?
Of course, yeah. We're, I mean, guilt and shame and emotions like that can be traumatic and problematic if there's not a lesson there to be learned. If you can look at a situation and go, okay, we're all imperfect, we're allowed to make mistakes, don't do that again, fantastic. If you carry that guilt around with, and you're unable to, rectify the past or make up for your mistakes, or at least put a positive foot in front of another, then that, I think, is when it becomes a real negative.
And which is so great about movies is, right, you can use that to inspire people to
Absolutely.
to take steps to make better choices in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, redemption.
Yeah.
A lot of Bollywood actors really love you, and I have a lot of friends. One
I
of them
love
is
them.
Arjun Kapoor, and
Yeah.
he's told me to personally ask you this. In Extraction, there's a lot of similarity between Tyler Rake and Chris Hemsworth, but there's one very, very huge difference. You are guilty of not spending enough time with the family as Tyler, and here you actually balance your work and your personal life really well, especially with whatever has happened and whatever you've come out with. Does it become increasingly important to spend time with family? Because the whole scare, I think everybody is there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all make the mistake at times of thinking that we have endless opportunities to take care of the things that are important. But right now I'm going to go do this job, or right now I'm going to do this little adventure, and so on. The things that you look back on and regret or remember, or in a positive, the things you look back on and remember in a positive light is time you spend with the people you love. Yeah. I think the regrettable times for me and things I look back on, and hopefully I've learned a lesson from, is, as you say, being away too much and not being with family enough, and missing the things that are most important. So my kids I've got 2 twin boys of 9, my daughter's 11, and I've spent the last 7 months at home and had some wonderful quality time, and now kind of reinvigorated to get back to work, but also make sure I bring them with me when we can, and that's always a balance.
Finally, just a fun question. What's the best way to kidnap both of you? Where the fans can extract you?
You could trick us into thinking we're on a press tour,
Right.
and we'd walk into a room like this, which actually was like a truck.
And all of the crew are in on it.
Yeah.
And then they would just jump on us, and we would be overwhelmed.
And
Don't do this.
Escape.
Don't try this at home. Don't do that.
But this is a message that I have for you. It says, India loves you.
Oh, we love
And
India.
thank you for being kind, warm, and welcoming. And I hope that I keep watching more such movies. And of course, I hope that there are decades of movies that we watch of you.
Well,
thanks
because
so
there are
much.
many.
Us too.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Appreciate
Thank you.
that.